Good morning, you guys. Come on in, come on in. Happy Tuesday. Stop manifesting money that you're not even working for. Amen, amen. Stop manifesting money that you're not even working for. I know we're on here a little bit earlier than normal. I have a lash appointment a little bit later and a facial. So I wanted to get my lives out the way. So I wanted to do both my lives before I had some self-care time. And this is what I'm talking about. Stop manifesting money that you're not even working for. You, like a lot of people, I used to be the exact same way. You want all of the perks of entrepreneurship. You want the freedom, you want the peace, you want the income, you want the clout, you want all of it, but you're not working for it. You will spend more time doing your vision board. You will spend more time writing stuff down that you want in your journal than you actually do doing the work. And that's not getting you anywhere, is it? Because you can't manifest your way to financial freedom. You have to work for it. You can't pray your way to financial freedom. You have to work for it. Okay. God helps those who help themselves. Faith without works is dead. And until you start helping yourself, putting one foot in front of the other, trying to get things done, doing the best you can do every single day, baby girl, ain't gonna happen for you. It's not. It's really not. So what I'm gonna need you to do is stop manifesting and start working. Okay. Do you manifest that paycheck that you get every 2 weeks at that job, or do you work for it? Hello. I'm gonna say it again. Do you manifest that paycheck that you get at that job every 2 weeks, or do you work for it? Okay, that's what I thought. So why are you not working for the business? Why are we still talking about the same old thing? Post content, post content, post content, and you're not doing it yet. Some of you guys literally tune in to my lives. I be on YouTube live, TikTok live, I'm on all the lives. You'll tune in to the lives. You'll watch the videos, but you're not even doing a fifth of the things that I'm telling you to do. If I was to go to your profile right now, I bet you I wouldn't see not one video. Or if you did post, that post was about 6 months ago, ain't posted since, talking about something you want in business. Sounds like you just want excuses. It sounds like you just want the perks of entrepreneurship without actually having to do the work. And I'm not the coach that's gonna sell you dreams. Like, that doesn't happen. A lot of times, and it's crazy because I feel like social media has done this to people, but they really have people out here thinking that you can make all this money passively, meaning you don't have to do anything for it. Like, you can just make all this money online passively. You don't have to show up for it. You don't have to do shit for it. And they really have you out here thinking that. And so you get so confused, you're dumbfounded as hell when you post your product and ain't nobody buying it. You got a whole storefront full of ebooks and courses and templates and journals, and ain't had not one sale. Didn't have one sale. Why? Because you're not putting in the work to promote it. That's why. Because they have you out here thinking you don't have to, and you're running with it. Listen, ain't no such thing as passive income until you've done active income, until you've done active work. Okay. Think about your favorite celebrities who are making millions, your favorite music artists. They're working for that actively. Okay. They actively have to perform on stage. They actively have to film the commercials that they get paid in sponsorships for. They're actively doing work. But yet, for some reason in your head, you believe you don't have to do shit. Think about investors who are investing into businesses and stuff. They actively did the work. They actively researched the company to make sure it was a smart decision before they invested their money. They didn't just say, here's $100,000, just take it. No, absolutely not. They researched that company. They were on the conference calls. They were trying to make sure it was a good investment for themselves before they put their money in it. That's all active work. But yet in your head, you really are out here thinking you don't have to do shit. And my question for you is, how is that going? How is that going for you? Oh, okay. That's what I thought. Stop manifesting money that you haven't worked for. It's not getting you anywhere, and you're just wasting time. You could have been making sales by now if you just got your ass up and started working for it. If you started posting the content, if you started going live, if you were showing up every day, you could have had some sales by now. I know that for a fact. Listen, I tell y'all damn near every morning, I don't believe I'm any more special than you. I don't believe I'm any more smarter than you. I don't believe I'm any more talented than you. I really don't. Like, I really don't. I don't think I'm doing anything that you can't do. I'm just keeping it real. But the difference between me and you is I don't just make excuses. I'm not just making vision boards and talking about what I want and not actively out here trying to go get it. I don't operate like that. Y'all see me every single day putting in that work. Y'all see me. I don't even have to tell you. You see me on all the platforms, putting in work, showing up. I even tell y'all when I put in work and don't nobody buy shit. And y'all still see me the next day. I done dried my eyes, wiped my tears, got my headspace back in order, and I'm back next day like ain't shit happened. Y'all see it. I tell y'all. I don't gatekeep. I don't tell y'all. I'll not tell y'all. I tell y'all what's real. I literally had a woman. I posted about this on the community last night. I did a one-on-one call with this woman, right? And I like to wear gloves, by the way, because I don't want the makeup on my hands. I did a one-on-one call with this woman, right? And she's an older woman, and she was talking about she's tired of her corporate job. She wants to get into selling digital products. She wants to start her own business. She wants to get into content. And she said she came across my live and she fell in love with my energy and she booked a one-on-one. And she also purchased one of my ebooks, Limiting Beliefs. She purchased that. And so we were on the call and she was just telling me things that she was struggling with. And I had asked her towards the end of the call, I was like, so you said you saw me on TikTok. I always ask this. I always ask people, like, how did you find me? So I know what's working, right? You want to keep tabs so you know what's working. You don't want to just not know and you're just doing a whole bunch of stuff, right? So I had asked her, I said, okay, so you said you found me on TikTok. She's like, yeah, I caught one of your lives. I caught several of your lives. As she said, I caught several of your lives. And I was like, oh, how many lives do you remember? Like, how many lives did you watch of me before you purchased the one-on-one? 8. She watched my lives 8 times before she invested. 8 times. 8 times. And then when we were doing the one-on-one, she is a little bit older. She was talking about how she, tried to start her ebook, but she's struggling with technology, Canva, ChatGPT. It's just a lot for her, right? And she said it's overwhelming. I pitched her my Done For You ebook service where me and my team create her ebook for her. And we upload everything to her hosting site. She doesn't have to do nothing. That's $497. She bought it. She bought it. Now, why am I telling you this? Because you have to keep showing up. That's why I'm telling you this. You have to keep showing up. And that's what you're not doing. You're not showing up. You're manifesting. You're drawing out vision boards. You're talking about what you want, but not making sure it happens. Meanwhile, myself and other creators, even my members inside of Glow Up Academy, they're getting shit done. We're getting shit done. Why? Because we're not sitting around looking at manifestation boards. That's why. We're not sitting here on the phone talking about what we want. We're out to go get it. We're out here getting it. We're out here putting in the blood, sweat, and tears. Meanwhile, you're just praying about it. Listen, the power of prayer is everything. But again, God helps those who help themselves. Don't act like you ain't never heard that before. You have to actively put in work. Do you really want to be a content creator or do you just want the clout? Like, it just sounds cool to some people. They don't really want it. They just want to have something to talk about with their friends, with their coworkers, with their family. They just want to feel like they're doing something. What is that going to get you? How is that going to pay your bills? How does the feeling of being productive, how does that pay that light bill? I'm just curious. How does the feeling of having dreams, how is that going to pay that rent? That that rent is due. So I'm just trying to figure out, how is it going to cover those things? It's not. It's not. But you would rather sit there and talk about the plan instead of execute it. You would rather sit there and overanalyze, make excuse after excuse as to why stuff's not getting done instead of just do it. That's what you would rather do. And my question for you is, how is that working for you? Did you make 1K this month? Is your platform monetized? Are people commenting and sharing your posts? Are you getting views? Are people clicking on your website? No? Oh, why? Because you're manifesting money instead of working for it. That's why. Oh, clock it. Listen, I can't make this up. I don't know how many more videos I have to make. I don't know what I gotta say. Do I need to do cartwheels? Do I need to twerk? Like, I don't know what I gotta do to get it through your head that you have got to start showing up for this business that you claim you want. And the reason why I say you claim you want it is because I just really believe that when someone wants something, they go get it. I really believe that. Like, you want that check in 2 weeks. You do. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You go to work. You go get it. You go put in that work so you know that the direct deposit will hit your account on that Friday. You know that. You're not sitting around, oh, I'm just going to manifest a paycheck. No, you go get it. You go get it. Am I lying? You go get that paycheck. But when you sit here and you say things like, oh, no, I really do want a business, Jazz. I really do want financial freedom. Do you? Because you're not out here getting it. You're not out here getting it. You're out here making excuses, talking about some shoulda, woulda, couldas, caring about what people think who don't even pay your bills. That's what you're busy doing. Meanwhile, people who are really getting it, they're just putting in the work. You guys, I don't have a vision board. I don't have a vision board. This is the closest thing I have to a vision board. Let me show you. On all of my phones, I got multiple devices. On all my phones, my screensaver, my lock screen, that's my vision board. That's it. It's a big ass house with a fancy car in the front. And I found this off of Facebook. I got this off Facebook. All of my phones have some type of house, like some type of mansion, some really pretty mansion with some car or something. That's as close to a vision board as I got. So every time I look at that phone, I remember what I'm working towards. I'm working towards a big ass mansion. That's what I want. I don't even care about all that designer stuff. I don't really care about none of that. I don't really give a fuck. I want my mansion. Okay. I want my big ass house. Okay. That's what I'm working for. And so that's the closest thing to a vision board that I have. But you, on the other hand, you will sit there for hours fucking taking pictures out of a damn magazine, making the prettiest looking vision board. Don't get me wrong. They be pretty. Them vision boards are pretty, okay? You really make them look nice and pretty. I'm going to give it to you. You really do be putting in that work. But just imagine if you took that same amount of time that you put into making that vision board into content. You would have multiple videos. You would already have a live stream that's sitting on your channel for people to watch that missed it when it was live. But again, you want to feel productive. You would rather feel like you're doing something instead of actually do it. You want to feel like you're working towards the goal, even though you're not really working towards the goal. I'm just saying, you're not. And the only reason why a lot of you guys watch my content is because you appreciate my realness. I'm not sitting here coddling you. I'm not sitting here saying, oh, it's okay. Just try harder tomorrow. No. This is how I talk to myself. Like, I can only give you what I give myself, okay? That's all I can do. I can only give you what I give myself. And when I find myself trying to make excuses because I try. I'm not perfect. I be trying to make excuses too. I sure do. I give myself this pep talk that I'm giving you. I do. Because sometimes I'll say things like, I don't think I have time for this. Why I don't? Why I don't have time? I got 24 hours in a day. Why I don't have time? I do have time. I'm making excuses. And that's what you're doing too. You are sitting here making excuses. And I don't want to hear it. I'm not here for the shits. I'm really not. Stop manifesting the money that you're not working for. There is money out here. I think we were talking about this yesterday. People are still spending. I don't want to hear about it's the economy. No, it's your effort and lack thereof. People are still spending money, y'all. They really are. Shit, you might still be spending money. Trying to act like you broke. You ain't broke. You ain't broke because you was at Chick-fil-A yesterday. You ain't broke. If you was really broke, you'd be eating ramen noodles. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. If you was really broke, you would be eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. But you not. You at Chipotle. Stop playing. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. You is not broke. You still getting your nails done. You're not broke. You still on TikTok shop. You not broke. So this is what I'm telling you. People are still spending money. They're just not spending with you. Why? Because you're not putting in the work. You too busy manifesting. That's why. Meanwhile, people who are really making money, they showing up. Even when it's uncomfortable. Even when they don't feel like it. Even when their friends aren't supporting them. Even when they're not getting views. Even when they're not getting sales. They still are showing up. They're still showing up. They won't be stopped. You be stopped. You walk around this defeated mindset. That's why I tell y'all, half of the problems that you have, that I used to have, whatever, are really just your mindset. It's really your mindset that's creating these problems in your head, making you feel like, you can't do it, or caring what other people think about you and your business ideas. It's all in your head. It's not even real. I was watching this content creator's video. This was like a couple years ago. And he put it in the best perspective. I'm about to repeat it. He said, life is like a video game. Life is like a video game, right? And he was saying that in the video game, every single time you want to achieve something, you have to beat a level. You have to beat another level, right? So let's say you want 1,000 YouTube subscribers so you can be monetized. Okay, well, in order to get those 1,000 YouTube subscribers, you have to beat the level, right? And then once you beat that level, you'll get your 1,000 YouTube subscribers, right? Okay, well, within the level, you have things trying to hold you back. Just like in a video game, you have people, you have like ninjas, like just things trying to keep you from beating the level. But you can die in the game as many times as you'll be brought back to life, right? You have multiple attempts to keep trying to fight the bad guys, the ninjas, whatever it is that you're playing, right? But until you defeat those things, you will not beat the level. So think of those ninjas as your distractions. Think of those ninjas as the people you hang around. Think of those ninjas as your vices. Whatever it is that you're struggling with, you will not beat that level of the game until you defeat those things. But what you need to remember is you have all of the tools that you need to beat the game, beat the level. But you choose not to use those tools. You choose to succumb to your excuses, to distractions. And you can die in the game as many times as you need to. But until you defeat the things that are keeping you from beating the level, you will not beat the level. And that's literally how he explained life. Like, until you do what you need to do to get to the next level, you will continue to stay at the level you're at. And I can attest to that, because I tell y'all all the time, I am nothing like who I used to be. at all. I'm not even close. When I tell y'all I did a 180 transformation, I need you to hear me loud and clearly when I tell you that. That is all the way real. And I was not going to get to this part of my life until I beated the vices that I had. So I defeated those vices. What were my vices? Alcohol, food, toxic relationships and friendships, excuses. Oh yeah. My mindset as far as telling myself I'm stupid, I can't do it. I had a lot of things. I had a lot of things in my previous levels that I had to defeat in order to get to this point. And God, or the game, whatever you believe in, however you want to put it, God will keep making you fight the same battles, just like in a video game, will keep having you fight the same battle every single day until you defeat it. And you will not proceed until you defeat that level. You will not proceed in life until you defeat that level. And a lot of y'all keep succumbing to the same thing every day. You already know you struggle with distractions. Maybe your vice is, I don't know, watching Netflix all day. Maybe that's your vice. You have already acknowledged the fact, you already know that you struggle with binge watching movies. Like, you already know that, but you still haven't defeated it. You still have not defeated it. And you will not move on until you defeat it, until you let it go. You will not move on. You will wake up every single day on the same level until you defeat it. Okay? And when he put it into perspective like that, I was like, damn, he's right. Like, maybe your vice is marijuana. I used to be a pothead. Like, I really did. I'm telling you, I had a lot of vices. I really did. I'm nothing like who I used to be. But, you know, maybe your vice is marijuana, right? And you have convinced yourself in your mind that you need marijuana to function. No, you don't. You don't need anything outside of yourself to function. That's number one. So you need to be reprogrammed. But until you let go of the marijuana, you will continue to stay at the level you're at. You will continue to stay there until you defeat it. Just like a video game. You have unlimited lives. You can keep trying, keep pushing, but until you fully defeat it, you're not moving up. You're not moving up. You will not move up. But once you defeat it, now you're on the next level. Now you're at the next checkpoint. And there's going to be new battles that you have to defeat in order to get to the next checkpoint. And that's literally how life is. But remember, it's not real. It's not real. So all of these distractions, all this fear, all this self-doubt that you have, all these vices, it's not real. It's all what's going on in here. It's literally all of it in your head. You are literally battling your mindset every single day. You can either wake up when the alarm goes off, or you can hit snooze. You can either get up and work out, or you can choose to sit around all day. You can either make sure you eat right, so you're fueling your body with nutrients and vitamins, or you can eat like shit. You can either work on the business, the content, and the products, or you can watch TV. You can either talk to people who are pouring into you and motivating you, or you can talk to people who drain you. You could either watch content that's making you better and teaching you something, or you can watch The Housewives. And all day, every single day, you are battling with your head. That's what you're battling. It's not people, it's you, your mindset, every day. But for a lot of you, you keep succumbing to the things that aren't bettering you. And then you sit here and you wonder why you don't have a business. Well, the reason you ain't got no business is because you're not beating the levels. And every day is a new day to try harder. And you still refuse. But then you get up on these platforms and you keep talking about something, I want change in my life. No, you don't. Because if you really want it, you go get it. Just like I said earlier, if you really wanted that paycheck, you go to work, you go get it. You go get it. True or false, you go get that shit. You don't just wait for it to fall into your lap. Absolutely not. You go clock in, you work them hours, and you go get that check. Amen, amen. Stop manifesting money that you're not working for. Make it make sense. It don't make sense. But that's what you sitting here doing. Listen, ain't nothing out of reach for you. This is why I said a few minutes ago, literally everything that you're battling is in your head. It's not real. People's opinions that you're so worried about, it's not real. It's not real. People talking about you, it's not real. Like, none of that is fucking real. It's all in your head. Yeah, they might literally be talking about you. But again, when I say it's not real, what I mean is they're just words. They're literally just words. It's not real. Like, but you let it be real. It's not real, y'all. It's really not real. The vices that you have, it's not real. It's not real. You don't need anything outside of you. You don't need anyone outside of you. That's the crazy thing, is people really think they need their friends. No, you don't. What you need is God. And God is within you. God is not at the church. God is not in your boyfriend. God is within you. Everything that you need is within you. It's not outside. It's not on any video. It's within you, but you can't hear it because you got all these distractions. The reason why you can't, this is another reason why I tell you guys to spend time by yourself. The reason why you can't hear God is because you're everywhere but within yourself. You're in the gossip. You're on the phone talking. You're listening to music that ain't fueling you up with nothing but just toxicity. You're watching content, watching people get beat up. You're watching stuff that is just like not doing anything for you. You're scrolling on social media, laughing at funny videos. You got all these things that you're listening to the point where you can't even listen to God. You can't even sit there and think about an idea that you had because you have all these other outside things that you're listening to. That's why you don't hear God. That's why you don't hear that's why there's no seeds being planted in your head, because you're distracted as hell. But if you spend time by yourself, you stop sitting on the phone, you stop watching TV, you stop watching content that's not bettering you. You just sit in stillness. If you just sit in stillness, I promise you, you will start to hear God, which are the ideas that you have, which are the thoughts that you have. Okay, it's not like God is really like, yeah, Jazz, so this is what you're gonna do. It's more or less like the intuition that you start to pick up on. You start to think about things. That's God. That's God. But you don't hear it because you're distracted. You don't hear it because you're drunk. You don't hear it because you're high. That's why you don't hear it. Sit in stillness. You don't need to be around people. Like, you really don't. I tell y'all all the time too, when you're around people, all you're doing is getting their projections. Listen, you guys, people project. I project. All the content I push out is a freaking projection, okay? Everybody is projecting. Projecting is just how they view the world, okay? That's it. That's it. But when you're around people who are toxic, who are negative, who are insecure, they're projecting their insecurities, their toxicity, their negativity onto you. It's not that they're doing it on purpose. It's not. Now, you might have some people that wake up and are like, yeah, I'm gonna mess with her head today. Sure, you might. But most of the time it's subconscious. They don't even realize that they're doing it. They're just literally just telling you how they feel about the world based on their own experiences. That's it. But when you tell your friend who is insecure that you want to start a YouTube channel, she can't give you positive feedback. She can't give you a praise. She can't congratulate you because that's not how she feels about herself. If she's insecure, she's probably full of, I can't, I'm not worthy. This won't work for me. So if that's how she feels about herself, and then you tell her you want to start a YouTube channel, the feedback that she's going to give you is, I heard that's hard. I heard people fail. Are you sure you really want to do that? Do you think you're good enough for that? That's what she's going to give you. And then because you don't know how to just validate yourself, you don't know how to just think for yourself, you're going to listen. You're going to listen. And now she has talked you right about your brilliant idea. But if you spend time by yourself, and you're not out here telling people your ideas, and you just sit in stillness, and that idea gets put into you, that's God, and he tells you start that YouTube channel, and you don't need to consult 20 people before you start, now you're just going to start it. You just going to start it. Now you don't have other people's projections weighing on you and telling you what you can't do. But what do I know? How do I know this? Because that used to be me. That's how. I could never just think for myself. I could never just do something. I always had to ask other people what they thought. Always. It never failed. I could never just take an idea that I came up with and believe that it was good enough to do. I couldn't do it. For years, I had to ask people. And the crazy thing is, the people I was asking, they weren't even on the path in which I was trying to go. The people that I was asking, they weren't even people I would trade lives with. Yet for some reason, I really cared about their opinions. And 9 times out of 10, that's you too. So how do you stop all of that? How do we stop? Spend time by yourself. That's how we stop. Spend time by yourself. Yeah, if you're not used to spending time by yourself, it's going to be uncomfortable. Most people can't be by themselves. Most people, you guys, they cannot sit in stillness. They're going to say it's boring. Then they're going to go hit up people who they should have left alone years ago. Because a lot of people can't sit in stillness. Because when you sit in stillness, it forces you to face yourself. It forces you to look at yourself in the mirror and realize you're the freaking. Ooh. Look, y'all got me preaching this morning. It makes you realize you got to look at yourself in the mirror and realize you're the freaking problem. That's why. That's why most people cannot sit in stillness, because it's uncomfortable, because it's going to force you to think about things and your life and the direction it's going in. And for a lot of people, they would rather run from it than run towards it. And so the whole cycle is just going to continue over and over again. You're going to start something, give up, second guess, overanalyze, talk about what you can't do, then go ask for validation, but you're never going to get the validation because the people you want to validate you don't even validate themselves. And then it's just going to continue to loop over and over and over again. And you still didn't get nowhere. And yet you're still manifesting money that you didn't work for. I can't make this up. I can't make this up. I really can't. And again, the only reason why I know this is because that used to be me. It really did. Even when I bought my house, when I told y'all I had bought a house. Before I even signed on the dotted lines, I had to go ask my coworkers if they thought I could afford the house. Y'all, when I tell y'all I was lost, I was lost as hell. I couldn't think for myself to save my life. I really couldn't. I really couldn't. Most people can't. See, I thought it was just me. Nope. Most people function like that. Most people function like that. And I'm telling you, that gets you absolutely nowhere. All people can do is tell you what they would do. And half the time they're telling you what they would do, they're not even in a situation to do it, but they're going to tell you what to do. And you sit there and you listen. And then you wonder why things ain't working out for you. It's not working out because you're asking the wrong people. Ask yourself. Ask God. How about that? Just sit in stillness. He'll tell you. You just got to listen. And then that's the other thing. He'll tell you and you don't listen. God told you years ago, let that man go. Your ass ain't listening. You still with him. God told you years ago, quit that damn job. Go find something better because that job is weighing on you. Still ain't did it. Still at the job. You could have been left that job. You could have put in applications for another job. Yeah, maybe they weren't going to pay you as much. Maybe. But at least the job that you getting ain't going to drain you, ain't going to pull your spirit down, ain't going to have you depressed. And that used to be me. I could have left that job. I could have found another job. I told y'all I had a 9-to-5 I absolutely hated. And the reason why I never left was because I cared more about the money than my mental health. I'm just being real, because I could have quit. I could have went and worked at Target. Yeah, it would have been a huge pay cut, but at least I wouldn't have been crying and depressed every day. But the mindset I was in at the time, it was all about the money. It was always about the money. So that's why I didn't leave. I'm just being real. But again, God tells you what to do. You just don't listen. You're disobedient as hell. You were supposed to have been started the YouTube channel. You were supposed to have started that years ago. You still didn't do it. You disobedient. You listening to everybody else except yourself. And then you wonder why you're not happy. You're not happy because you're not living a life that makes you happy. You're not happy because you care too much about other people. That's why you're not happy. And until you change that, chat. Listen, I can't put into words how amazing it feels to get up every single day living life on my terms. Like the life that I live today, you guys, you don't even know. You don't even know. I can't, you guys, I'm telling you, yes, making money is important. Like I'm not about to sit here and tell you, oh, money's not everything. That's not true. We got to pay bills. We got to pay bills, right? But what I'm going to tell you is this: being able to do what I love and not care about what people have to say about it, man, literally, I get up, I create my own schedule. Y'all know last week, I was like, I'm going to start doing these type of lives. How did I even come up with this idea? God, that's how. The seed was planted. Last week, the week before last, I was walking. I walk in the morning. I get my steps in the morning. And this idea came to me to start doing these type of lives. And at first, when I was looking at my schedule, I was like, I'm only able to squeeze this in the afternoon. I'm not going to be able to do this in the morning because I got all these other things I got to do. But I did it last week at 2:00. It was hard. Like I'm a morning person, you guys. You're going to get the best version of me first thing in the morning. Because I'm telling you, them 2:00, when I was doing those lives last week at 2:00 in the afternoon, I was getting them done, but it was hard. I'm winding down. Like after 1:00, you guys, I'm winding down. But the freedom that I have with working for myself, and even I be forgetting, I decide what I do and when I do it. I get to decide that. And because I know I'm a morning person, I was like, well, how can we incorporate these lives in the morning so I can give my best energy, be excited about it, not like bogged down about it, and make the message even better? And I was like, well, I guess we'll do them first thing in the morning while I'm putting myself together, because I put myself together anyway. I always put myself together. But I have the freedom to do that. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because you can have anything in the world. There's no such thing as a limit. The limitations that you're living on or living with are limitations that other people put on you. That's all it is. Somebody in your life put a limitation on you. It could have been your parents. It could have been a relationship. It could have been some friends. It could have been the job. It was somebody. It wasn't even you. Because think about it. Kids don't put limitations on themselves. If you ask a child what they want to do with their life, they're going to have the most craziest, outlandish vision, right? It's going to be out of this world. And they really believe that they can do it. But as they get older, what happens? They start to bring those dreams back to reality, right? Meaning somebody put limitations on those dreams that they had. And now, if you ask them in their teenage years or even young adult years, oh, what do you want to do with yourself? Now it's more normal. Oh, I want to go work for a job that has benefits. Well, what happened to the dreams of being an astronaut? What happened to the dreams of being a surgeon? What happened to those dreams? Somebody along the way told them they can't do it. And they believed it. And that's what happened to you. You had dreams. You had big goals. Somebody, somewhere in the journey told you that you can't do it. Thank you, life was better in the 90s. Somebody somewhere told you that you can't do it. And now here you are believing that you can't do it. That's what happened. That's what happened. But, you know, you can do it. But you can't manifest it. You got to work for it. You can't manifest it without putting in the work for it. No more vision boards. Y'all already did the vision boards. Y'all already finished up the vision boards, okay? You done did a vision board for every year. Now it's time to put in the work. The YouTube channel that you want, you can have. But it's going to require you to post some damn videos. It's going to require you to post videos. It's going to require you to make content. The sales that you want for your business, that's going to require you to promote your products. Okay? That's going to require you to promote, even if you feel like nobody's watching. Even if you feel like nobody cares, you still gonna have to promote it. Because like I told y'all earlier, I be feeling like ain't nobody watching shit I'm talking about. But they be watching. And when they're ready, they buy. They buy. Okay? All right. So I'm done with my makeup. I decided to do a pink lip. I love bright colors. I love bright colors. This is Gridlock Matte by Urban Decay. And the liner I used was Night Moth by MAC. And this is look how pretty it is. It's bright pink. Listen, the old me would have been terrified of bright colors. I would have been like, oh no, I'm too dark for that. Absolutely not. See, limitations that somebody put on me, society at the time. No, absolutely not. You do what you want. Now, before I take out my flexi rods, I want to show you guys I got something. So, you know, we are still a business channel, motivational business, all of the things. Okay. So I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about branding before we get into some more stuff. So y'all know that I promote Glow Up Academy. By the way, if you haven't joined, what are you doing? Make sure you guys join Glow Up Academy. This is the space where we transform. Okay, this is the space where not only do I teach you how to build your business, how to build your platforms, but I also teach you how to build yourself. Okay, inside Glow Up Academy, we spend a lot of time changing our mindset, the things that we believe, reprogramming ourselves. Think like a CEO, earn like one. Okay. Glow Up Academy, the link is down below in my description. We have 100 members inside. It's only $39 a month. And you gain access to all of the knowledge from building your YouTubes, TikToks, Instagrams, Facebooks, also creating your products, going live and converting people off of your live onto your website and into sales. And then also to how to create your digital product, whether you want to do an ebook, a school community, the choice is yours. Okay. There's no limitations on your greatness. You put limitations on yourself. Okay. So Glow Up Academy is there. All right. So let's open my package. I'm so excited about these. So I went on Etsy and I decided to do some more stuff. Okay. So different shirts here. I'm going to be wearing these shirts and stuff when I go live. Glow Up Academy. Y'all see me with one last week, but I had to keep washing it because it was the only one I had. So I got some more. So this one's black. And this was a size, I got a size large in the first one, but I thought it was a little bit too big, so I went down to a medium. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. This is a long sleeve one because it's cold outside, y'all. So we're in the fall month. So I got a black long sleeve shirt one, Glow Up Academy. And this I think I did a size large because I do have long arms. Yes. So I did a size large. Then I got red, Glow Up Academy. And what color is this? Olive. And it's long sleeve, size large. So y'all be seeing me wear my shirts in my content. Another way to brand, another way to bring awareness to Glow Up Academy without me necessarily having to always say it, okay? So whatever it is you're promoting for your business, you guys, always talk about it. And even if you don't talk about it in every video, make it visible so people can see. Like, see how I have Join Up Academy on the bottom left of the screen? I'm doing that for a reason, okay? So I want you guys to start thinking about cool ways that you can promote your products in your content. And again, it's going to be trial and error, you guys. You're going to try stuff, not like stuff, doesn't matter. The point is to just keep trying, okay? Just keep trying to figure out what works for you. And also, too, don't be afraid to tell people about your product. If you really believe in what it is that you're selling, okay, like you really believe in it, then you should have no problem telling people about your product. Why are you embarrassed to talk about your ebook or your Skool community, whatever it is you're selling? Like, why are you embarrassed? What are we doing? You should be telling everybody about your product. Like, I want you guys to understand this. When you post your content, okay, people can choose to watch it or they can choose to swipe up, right? They don't have to stick around. If you go live, people don't have to stay on your live. They have free will, but they stayed because you grabbed their attention, okay? So you should not feel weird about telling people about your product, okay? They have stepped into your world. They want to know more. And so it's your duty to tell them more, okay? It is your duty to tell them more about your services, your products, and how it can help. Now, don't forget, you guys, I tell y'all this every day, damn near. I feel like I say a lot of the same things every day. Y'all still don't listen. When you are talking about your products, remember, we sell the transformation. People buy transformations, you guys. Don't ever forget that. You see, every time I talk to y'all about Glow Up Academy, prime example, I'm going to use Glow Up Academy as an example, okay? I said what it does, right? I said how you not only do you learn how to build your business, build your channels, your profiles, your platforms, your content, and make sales, but you also learn how to build yourself. I did not go into specifics saying things like, oh, well, you know, when you join Glow Up Academy, we have a marketing mastery vault. We have a mindset vault. We have a feminine energy vault. We have a business building vault. So you can learn how to file your taxes, create your LLC. We have Instagram. We have YouTube. We have TikTok. We have manifestation. We have faceless content. We have Canva, how to take care of your health. I didn't do all that. I'm doing it now for the sake of the demonstration, but I didn't do all that, okay? Because respectfully, I know you don't give a damn. What you want to know is, how does joining Glow Up Academy transform your life? And that's what I answered for you. That's what I told you. I told you how it changes your life. I told you how I teach you how to build your business, how to grow your platforms, and also how to build yourself, okay? I gave you the transformation. I didn't go into specifics about everything. People don't really care. Okay. So when you're talking about your product, I want you to sell the transformation. I want you to help people understand How, when they purchase your product, will it transform their life? And if you don't know the answer to that, well, then we have a serious problem. You need to figure it out. You need to figure it out, okay? Because if you don't know, how can you expect your audience to know? They're not going to know. And I tell you this, they're not going to sit around and try to figure it out either. They're not. They are not going to sit around and try to figure it out. A confused audience does not buy. They ain't buying shit. So it is in your best interest to get very clear on the transformation that your product gives your customer. You need to figure that out, okay? You need to figure that out. And for those of you guys who are struggling with trying to figure out, well, what kind of content should I create? Or what kind of product should I sell? 9 times out of 10, the answer to that question is right in front of your face. What do I mean? There's something that you know about. A lot of times, the transformation that you can sell is a transformation that you went on in your own personal life. That's what Glow Up Academy is, okay? I'm very transparent. I tell you all the things I have struggled with along the way, okay? And once I overcame those struggles, it got me here to where I am now. And that's what Glow Up Academy is. Yeah, I'm teaching my members how to build their business. But a lot of times it's not the fact that you're incapable of building a business. That's the problem. Anyone can build a business. It's the fact that your mindset is keeping you from that business. Your habits are keeping you from the business. The things that you say to yourself on a day-to-day basis is what's keeping you from your business. And so Glow Up Academy is not only about business building, but self-development. That's what it is, okay? And so, but the only reason why I came up with that is because that's the same journey I had to go on, all right? So there's something that you overcame in your life. And I want you to think about it like this. If this was 6 months ago, what do you wish you knew that you didn't know 6 months ago? What is it that you wish you knew maybe a year ago? And whatever that is, that's your product. That's your product. But a lot of times, let me wipe the screen. I feel like it's a little blurry. But a lot of times, I guess it's the sun. A lot of times we overthink. And so instead of you sitting there trying to really dig deep and figure out what it is that you could really help people transform about their life, you'd rather just look for a quick fix. How can I make money quick? And the problem with that is when you truly believe in the product that you're selling, you don't really have to sell it. It sells itself. Your conviction, the way you talk about it. Like you guys, I've sold a lot of digital products over the years. Okay, I've been doing this for 5 years. But Glow Up Academy, that is by far my favorite digital product that I've sold. And it feels so true to my spirit because that's what I went through, okay? And so, yes, I do promote it all the time, every day, all day long, but it's so natural for me to talk about it. I don't feel salesy. I don't feel cringy, you know what I mean? Because I believe in my product. And if you believe in your product, it won't feel cringy to you either, okay? So I need you to dig deep. I need you to take time and really try to figure out what kind of product would transform your life and the life of other people. And that's what I want you to sell. And that's what kind of content I want you to make. What is it that you can show up for every single day? This is every day. We don't do once a month, okay? If you're looking to start a business where you only have to show up for the business once a month, respectfully go to somebody else's channel because this ain't the channel. This ain't the channel for that. I'm going to tell you the truth. You're going to have to show up for this business every day. You're going to have to show up for this business every day. So I need you to choose something that you would love to show up for every day. If it ain't something you're trying to show up for every day, then don't even waste your time, because I'm going to tell you to do something different, because that's not for you. Okay? But the beauty of online business is you could sell anything. You could really sell anything. So don't get overwhelmed. Just know that you need to choose something that you could talk about every day and that feels natural to you, something that you're really passionate about. And when you run it like that, I promise you, you're going to make more money. You really are. Because you're talking about your product with conviction. Okay? This curl done got all messed up. You're talking about it with conviction. And that's what you need. Okay. If you tell me about your product and I can tell you're not really passionate about it, you just talking about it, well, then why would anyone buy it? Make it make sense. Why would anybody buy it? You wouldn't even buy somebody's product and the way they talking about it isn't giving like they believe in it. You wouldn't even buy that shit. So why do you think other people will? They're not. They're not going to. So please do yourself a favor and pick something that you really are passionate about. That's what you need to do. Okay? That's what you need to do. I don't have like frizz control, so I just be using a little bit of gel to kind of put it all together. Okay? Now, we got to say our affirmations. We got to say our affirmations, y'all. These are woman wipes, but I don't want my hands to be sticky. So I'm going to just use them. Hand real quick. Are y'all saying y'all's affirmations? Why not? You guys, we can't keep telling ourselves we're stupid. And y'all already know, I told y'all I had a terrible habit of doing that. I used to tell myself I was stupid all the time. And that gets you nowhere, okay? Because you're not stupid. You're really not. So we have to start speaking positively to ourselves, okay? So that we can start to believe in ourselves. This is all confidence. This is all confidence. How can you have confidence in yourself when you say mean things to yourself? You can't. And unfortunately, a lot of people walk around here outside in this world very, very insecure. Very insecure, you guys. And it's unfortunate. And those insecurities that you have is what keeps you from living the life that you deserve to live, okay? Don't let anybody out here tell you that you don't deserve wealth, okay? Don't let anyone out here tell you that you don't deserve happiness, that you don't deserve success, okay? You deserve all things. But a lot of times you don't even believe you deserve these things because you lack confidence in yourself. So how do we fix that? Well, for one, you're going to start keeping the promises that you make to yourself. And then two, you're going to start saying your affirmations. Building outside. It looks smoky as hell. I thought it was catching on fire. You're going to start saying your affirmations, okay? So let's start saying them. And you guys, when we do our affirmations on this live, I really need you to say them. Don't just listen to me say them because I already believe these things, okay? But this segment is about you believing in yourself, okay? And no, I did not always have confidence. I tell you guys every day, confidence is built. You have to build it, okay? It's not just handed to you. And you have to work for it. You have to keep the promises that you make to yourself. You have to start talking to yourself positively. I'm loving these curls. And you have to say your affirmations, okay? So let's go ahead and knock some out on this beautiful Tuesday. Money flows to me because I move with purpose. Isn't that what we just talked about? Isn't that what we just talked about? When you find a product that you're truly passionate about, that you really believe in, money will flow to you. I just said that. Okay? There's a reason why I'm telling y'all to do the things I'm telling y'all to do. Okay? It's not because it sounds good. It's because it works. Okay? I can't make this up. I cannot make this up. All right? Every post I make plants a seed for abundance. Every post I make every post I make plants a seed for abundance. Yes, it does. And this is what I was saying earlier. A lot of times it can feel like people aren't watching. It can feel like nobody cares. But I'm here to tell you that's not true. People are watching. They are listening. But you just have to keep showing up, okay? There are people who really need you. You have the solution to their problem, but you get in your head and you feel like because you don't have 10,000 views on a video that nobody's watching, but that's not true. And a lot of times we give up before we even really got started, okay? So just remember, every post, every live, you're planting a seed. And if you just keep watering your garden, everything will bloom, okay? I attract paying clients daily, right? You're not for everybody, okay? And also, to you guys, we don't negotiate our prices. Your price is your price. If people can't meet you at the price, you are more than welcome to lower the price, but then just know you're going to take things out. They're not going to get everything for the same price that you pitched them with everything included. You're going to have to start taking stuff out. But don't you dare discount your product and still include everything that it was coming with because someone doesn't have the money. Well, then that's just not your client. They're just not your client. They're not your client. And I know sometimes you really want to make a sale, right? But again, if you attracted that person, you'll attract others. So we don't chase sales. We don't negotiate our prices. Your price is your price. And the person who truly values what you bring to the table, they're going to pay it. They're going to pay it. They're not going to be trying to talk you down. No, they're going to pay it. Do they try to talk down Amazon? When Amazon got their TVs listed at the price they got them listed at, are they sending emails to Amazon asking them to lower the price? No, they wouldn't dare. So don't let them run that game on you. Absolutely not. No. Absolutely not. Okay? My brand grows because I show up even when it's hard. Yes. My brand grows because I show up even when it's hard. You guys, I will never forget how excited I was when I had my first 2K day, not just in my coaching business, but in all days of business, okay? In all days of business. Like for the past 5 years, I have never made 2K in one day. Never. And I made that through my coaching business. How? Because I keep showing up. I just keep showing up, y'all. I can't make this up. Please don't give up. My consistency is louder than my excuses. Okay? I am fully booked in alignment, not desperation. Yes. This is why I say we don't chase sales. This is why I'm telling you that. When you start chasing sales, it gives desperation. Okay, and you're not desperate for anything. So another reason why I tell you guys, don't quit your job. I quit, but it was a different time. Okay, I quit during COVID. So Y'all know how COVID was. There were things in place, like we were getting stimulus checks, they were doing unemployment. So I was able to get by while I was building my business. But those days are long gone. It's extremely difficult to start a business when you're stressing out about bills. Because when you're living in lack and scarcity mindset, now you're going to be feeling desperate. And that energy is going to read off of you. And your audience is going to be able to tell. Okay? So don't do that. Don't do that. Let's see. I don't need motivation. I move from discipline. And I keep promises to myself no matter how I feel. Amen. Amen. Y'all gonna have to start keeping y'all's promises to yourself. You really are. If you tell yourself you're gonna do something, then I really need you to do it. Because not doing it is gonna cost you how you feel about yourself. It really is, okay? And ain't nothing worse than being insecure. Ain't nothing worse than not believing in yourself. Ain't nothing worse than that. Been there, done that. I never want to do that again. I never want to live like that again. And the only way you're going to believe in yourself is if you keep the promises that you make yourself. Think about it like this, ladies. Let's say we met a man. And he's all that and a bag of chips, okay? Tall, dark, handsome, all of the things. Hey, whatever your type is, that's what he is, okay? And y'all exchange numbers. And y'all talking or whatever, and he's telling you he's going to do this, and he's telling you he's going to do that. He's going to call you at this time. He's going to take you here. And the more you talk to him, you start to realize he's not really keeping any of the promises that he made to me, right? Well, now your women's intuition is going to kick in, and you're going to realize you can't trust him. He's a liar, right? And you're probably going to stop messing with him, right? If you're healed, you're probably just going to leave that man alone. Okay. Well, what do you think is happening to you subconsciously, when you tell yourself you're going to do all these things and then you don't do it? See, what happens is you slowly start to lose the faith in you. So you'll hear yourself saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel and I'm gonna start my business. You hear yourself saying this out loud, but deep down inside, internally, you don't really believe it. Why? Because you keep proving to yourself time and time again, every time it's time for you to keep a promise to yourself, you don't do it. And that teaches you to believe that you're not worthy. That teaches you to believe that you can't do it. And so now that's how you really feel, because you have repeated action of breaking promises to yourself. But how do we fix that? If you say you're going to do something, then that's what you need to do. I don't care what you don't feel like doing. I don't care how tired you are. I don't give a damn. Because the feelings of not believing in self is far worse than the feelings of just sucking it up for 30 minutes and getting the job done. It just is what it is. And because I realize that now in my journey, yeah, there's times where I don't feel like doing this, I don't feel like doing that. But I realize it's only a few minutes. Like, it only takes me an hour to batch record 6 or 7 videos. An hour. If I sat on the couch for an hour and watched Housewives, the time would go by just like that. It's really not as bad as we make it up to be. Some of y'all are like terrified to go live, and you keep breaking the promise. You keep saying to yourself, I'm gonna go live, I'm gonna go live, I'm gonna go live. But you keep breaking that promise to yourself, and it's really not that hard. It's 30 minutes. It's an hour. You know that time flies by. It flies by so fast. You know how quickly 30 minutes flies by. You know this for yourself. You'll look at the clock, it'll say 7 a.m. Next time you look at it, now it says 7:45. You're like, damn, where'd the time go? How did time move so fast? So you already know time moves fast. So why is it so hard for you to just hit live on TikTok and just commit to 30 minutes because the time's gonna go by like that. And then you're gonna look back and you'll be like, dang, that was really fast. And it really wasn't as hard as I was making it out to be. You guys, I can't make this up. I cannot make this up. You make things harder than it needs to be. Like, you really do. It's you. Okay. Look, babe, it's you. It's you. Okay. It's really what you got going on here. And this is why I keep telling you guys, make sure you join Glow Up Academy, because these are the things that we deal with. Okay. These are the things that we fix. These are the things that make us better entrepreneurs. Think like a CEO so you can earn like a CEO. You are literally shooting your own self in the foot. You are holding yourself back. It's not your friends, it's not your family, it's not your circumstances, it's not your environment. Respectfully, it's you, because you refuse to lock in. You refuse to stop making excuses. You refuse to stop complaining and stop venting. A lot of times we're in the phase in our life where we just want to talk about the problem. We're not really here for solutions. But when you live like that, you realize nothing ever truly gets solved. In order to change your life, it's going to require you to change yourself. It's going to require you to change the way you think about yourself, the way you show up for yourself. And this is exactly what Glow Up Academy is, okay? The link is down below in my description. Make sure you guys join us. Think like a CEO so you can earn like one, okay? Glow Up Academy. Let's see. All right, so we're going to answer some questions now. Let's see. How do I stop overgiving in relationships and business? Girl, you gotta learn how to say no. How do I stop overgiving in relationships and business? You're gonna have to learn how to say no, and you gotta start setting some boundaries. You guys, you're not a bad person for saying no. This comes from a former people pleaser. Former people pleaser here, okay? I used to want to be liked. I used to want to be accepted, right? I used to want friends. I used to want validation. I used to want all of these things. You guys, you are not a bad person because you tell somebody no. I want you to get in the habit of saying no more often than you say yes. Why? Because when you're always giving, then people are always taking. And then you give so much that you never have anything left for yourself. And how can you run a business if you don't have anything for yourself? You don't have any energy. You can't, because you didn't give it to everybody. And then a lot of times when you are always giving, people don't respect you. This is one thing I had to learn. People don't ask you to do a favor for them because you're just this special person to them. That's not why they're asking. That is not why they're asking. The reason why people are asking you to do the favor for them is because you're the person that's most likely to say yes. See, a lot of times, especially as women, we think that, oh, if so-and-so asked me to do this, is because they know I'm their best friend or they just really love me. No, that's not why they're asking. They're asking you because you're the person that they believe is going to say yes. They have a whole roster of people, okay? But you're the one that they feel like they will get the most likelihood of you saying yes to. That's why they're asking you. Think about if you have a job and you don't know how to do something. You're going to look around the department and you're going to try to figure out who's most likely to help you, right? Well, if Sarah is always the bitch and she's always hollering and having a fuss about stuff, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to ask Sarah, right? Because you don't feel like hearing her mouth. You don't feel like dealing with her attitude. So you're just not really going to ask her, right? Let's just be real. You're more likely going to ask the person who's not going to give you a hard time, who's just going to do it. Well, that's the same thing with other people. That's just human nature. Okay. So don't ever in your head think that the reason they're asking you is because you're their most favorite person and they just love you so much. No, they're asking you because they believe that you're the person that's most likely to say yes. And if you reflect back on the history of the relationship, you always say yes, which is why they always ask. So in order to get people to stop asking, you're going to have to start telling people, no, I'm not loaning you any money. No, I'm not giving you a ride. No, you cannot stay with me. No, you cannot borrow my car. No. The answer is no. No. And the more you say no, the more people are going to stop asking because they already going to say no. They already know you're going to say no. So they're literally going to stop asking. So, there's nothing wrong with saying no. There's nothing wrong with being selfish. You have to be selfish in order to be selfless. It's true. And again, this is coming from a former people pleaser. I can't make this up. Okay? My energy is valuable because the energy that I have, that's what I use to pour into myself. When people are like, how do you have time to do your makeup? How do you have time to get your hair done? How do you have time to do your nails? And how do you have time to keep yourself up? How do you have time to exercise? How do you have time to eat right? Because I'm always telling people no. The reason why I have to do all these things is because I'm always telling people no. So when I'm always telling people no, now I have more energy to do for myself. That's why. But I wasn't always doing this for myself. Why? Because I didn't have any energy. Why? Because I was always giving it to other people. I can't make this up. You're not a bad person for saying no. You're not a bad person for saying no. Okay? How do I attract aligned friendships and partnerships as I evolve? Stop chasing. Stop chasing friends. Stop chasing validation. Stop chasing men. Stop. I want you to get to a point in your journey where you're so focused on you that you don't have time to focus on what other people are doing. I want you to love yourself so much that you don't even have the time to care about what other people are doing because you are so self-centered. I want you to be self-centered. That's what I need for you. I want you to wake up every day worried about you. What are you going to do for you today? How are you going to do your hair today? How are you going to do your makeup today? What outfit are you going to wear? What form of self-care are you going to do? What kind of business are you going to start? What are you going to do for your business today? I want it to be you times 1,000. That's what I want for you. Because when you start only thinking about you, you're no longer focused on who didn't call you. You're no longer focused on who's not inviting you to the happy hour because you're so focused on you. Okay. A lot of times when you're worried about not getting the invite or you're worried about people not calling you back, it's because you are not focused on you. And when you focus on you, you will attract other people who are also focused on themselves. Now, y'all's friendship is going to work because both of y'all are trying to get to the next level. Both of y'all are trying to elevate. Now it's aligned. A lot of times you're trying to align yourself with people who aren't even on your level. You ever notice that? Seriously. A lot of times you are trying to align yourself with people who are not even on your level. You got business goals. They just trying to make it through the end of the week. You working out. They still making excuses. You're trying to elevate. They're cool right where they are. You're trying to create solutions to your problems. They just want to complain about the problem. That's not even someone you should be aligning yourself with. They're not on your level. A lot of y'all digging too low. You trying to grab friends from the bottom of the barrel. So I need you to focus all of your energy, all of your attention on you. You are the main character in your life. And that's how I live my life. I got my mirror right here. Looking at myself. Looking at this hair, okay? And you're going to do that by taking care of yourself. You're going to do that by putting yourself together, okay? It's not hard. I forgot to do my lashes. It's not hard to do things for yourself. You make it hard. I'm telling you, when I started doing my makeup, I started doing my makeup this year, beginning of the year. When I started doing my makeup, I always made sure my hair was done. I always made sure my nails was done. But as far as like doing my makeup, putting myself together, I was not doing that for years. I was not. Okay. It's something about putting your face on that just does something to the confidence. I can't make this up. For women, ladies, you already know. If you just do a little mascara, if you put on a little lip, it really does something for you. It really does. It really does. So just imagine if you implemented that every day. Well, now you already feel good about yourself because you feel prettier, right? Now you feel prettier, you're going to move differently. Just imagine if you start getting your hair done. Just imagine if you start getting your nails done. Next thing you know, you acting brand new. Good, because it's a new you. It's a new time. You're focused on you. You're your main character. You're pouring into you. Now, because you look good, you're feeling good. And when you feel good, you do good. Now, you're focused on the business. Now, you're not focused on who ain't calling you. You focus on how you're going to get this money. Okay? So that's what I want for you. A lot of times, it's like you ask for the advice, but then when the advice is given to you, you're resistant towards it. And then you wonder why things aren't progressing. Well, you don't want it to progress. Okay. How do I forgive myself for who I used to be? Always remember you were working with the tools that you had in your toolbox at the time. Always remember you were working with the tools that you had in your toolbox at the time. You can't do what you don't know. Yes, positive energy attracts better things. Absolutely. You can't do what you don't know. It's impossible. So maybe you didn't know how certain people are. Well, after that lesson, that experience, now you know. Maybe you didn't know what the red flags were. Well, you experienced it. Now you know. Okay, so we can't sit around in guilt and shame and regret. I tell y'all, those feelings, guilt, regret, shame, that is the quickest way to depression. You cannot sit in an energy of guilt, shame, and regret. That will eat away at your spirit. It really will. It will eat you alive. The minute you start to feel guilty, shameful, regretful, I need you to start speaking your affirmations. At the end of the day, we're all doing the best we know how with the tools that we have. We're all out here just trying to figure it out. We really are, okay? So please don't allow yourself to start feeling guilty because you didn't know X, Y, Z. If you didn't know, well, how could you do better? You can't. But now you do know. So now you can do better. Okay, so never forget that. Never forget that. How do I stop craving closure from people who broke me? Listen, the closure is within you. And you know what's crazy? This is a tough pill I had to swallow too. A lot of times, not always. There's always rules. There's always exceptions to the rule. But a lot of times, the people who hurt you, they don't even really believe that what they did was that bad. Let me say it again. A lot of times when people have hurt you, they personally don't believe that what they did was really that bad. They don't really think there was anything wrong with what they did. Okay? So you're looking for closure from somebody who doesn't even really believe that they did anything wrong. I can't make this up because that's how they move on a regular basis. So let's say you were dealing with someone who used you, right? First of all, we got to understand you had a role to play in that too. We're going to get to you in a second. Okay? We can't always point the finger at other people. But let's say you're dealing with a friend and you notice throughout the friendship, they were using you and you fell out and you're no longer friends. Okay. And now you're in your head looking for closure. Like, I really want them to acknowledge how they treated me. I really want this so I can move forward. But in their mind, they don't really see anything wrong with what they did. because they use people on a regular basis. It's not just you, okay? If someone is using you, 9 times out of 10, they're using everyone that they talk to, that they associate with. So in their mind, they don't think that they're doing anything wrong. And you're looking for closure from them. But you can't get closure from someone who doesn't even think they're wrong. Now, let's talk about you. Let's talk about you. See, you are upset because you were friends with someone who was using you. But what I really need you to do is be upset with yourself because you allowed them to use you. There were moments in that friendship where your intuition and your gut was telling you something's not right. There were moments in that friendship where you realized that things were not being reciprocated. There were moments in that friendship where you knew that what they were doing was not okay, and you chose to ignore it. Why? Because you needed something from them too. You needed something from them too. Maybe you needed validation. Maybe you needed friendship. Maybe you needed love. Maybe you needed an ego boost. There was something in that relationship that you were getting as well. So we cannot always point the finger at other people, because when you point the finger at other people, what happens? 4 fingers point back at you too. There was something going on within you that allowed you to accept that type of treatment. Why? Because you were getting something out of it too. Maybe you weren't getting money, but you were getting something. So don't forget that. And once you accept that, and I don't know what it was that you was getting. Maybe you were getting companionship. There was something that you were getting. That's why you put up with it for as long as you did. But then you started to realize you didn't need what you was getting no more, right? You had to figure out what that was. And then once you figure out what it was that you were getting in that friendship, I'm not saying the playing field was level, okay? Yeah, they could have been getting all of these things and you might have got a little bit of something, but you still got that little bit of something in the time that you needed it, okay? But once you do figure out, well, what was it that I was getting in that friendship, relationship, whatever, now you're going to try to figure out, well, how can you give it to yourself so that in the next friendship, you're not seeking that. Hello. Good morning. Let's go. Let's go. Happy Tuesday. How do I stay confident when no one understands my journey? They're not going to understand it. And that's okay. You don't need them to. You don't need them to understand your journey. You just keep doing you. You just keep showing up. You just keep doing the best that you can. You just keep learning. You just keep elevating. You just keep pouring into yourself. Okay? You don't need people to understand what you went through. Honestly, it's not for them to understand. To be honest, it's for you. So I want you to start living for you. Okay? All right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and end this live. Again, make sure you guys join Glow Up Academy. The link is down below in my description. This is the space where not only do we build our business, our platforms, our content, we also build ourselves. Think like a CEO, earn like one. It's only $39 a month. You can cancel at any time. The link is down below in my description. I enjoyed you guys. I'm going to take a few minutes and then I'm going to get on TikTok live and then enjoy the rest of my day. I'm going to get my lashes done, get a facial, and just spoil myself today. Love myself this morning. All right. Have an amazing Tuesday. Bye, guys.